Hello, my friends of the Rafael Méndez International Brass Festival 2021. So I'm so happy and honored to be artist for this year in this edition, and I'm going to speak about some points, important points of playing the trumpet. Not doing I don't know what, not playing I don't know what. Just the basic points because it's very important. A few days ago I watched a YouTube video. There was an interview with Maurice Andre, and he was saying to the interviewer, he was telling his story about how he learned the trumpet, and he said something very important. He said, well, I focused for 5 years only on attacks and sound. For 5 years only attacks and sound. You know, I strongly believe in this kind of points where we have to focus if we want to reach a nice level of playing with the trumpet. So what I can tell you, everything starts from a good warm-up, and if we speak about warm-up, we can speak about creating the sound, and usually when you start in the warm-up, you should play not forte, not fortissimo, just piano or mezzo piano or pianissimo. So you don't need to play loud. So I hear some players, they put the mouthpiece on the trumpet and then they play loud just to, oh my gosh, this is not something that our lips enjoy for sure. And if you want to be a nice trumpet player and for many years, so to have a long life as a trumpet player, you must take care a lot about your chops, about your lips, about your body. So the approach must be really very balanced and never overblow, never overplay, if you can understand what I mean. So everything starts, as I told you, from the in the daily routine of a trumpet player, from a good warm-up. Myself, I like to play some long tones, very soft, very soft. Sometimes the first tones are without the attack, the tongue attack, and it's just with the air, playing without the attack and just air. And then I add the tongue on the attack, and it's something like something to wake up the lips and the chops, very gently. Then the other thing that I like to play is to play the stamp exercises. So the pedal tones. You should take care about the pedal tones because it's a very important exercise. But you must practice these pedal tones in the right way. Don't open the lips. Don't do this like. Pedal tones should be played in the same embouchure, in the same settings that we play for all the range of the trumpet. So the usual setting, lip setting embouchure that we use to play the trumpet in the normal range. This is very important because if you practice the pedal tones with the normal embouchure, this becomes very precious. to develop your playing. And so you should always use your normal embouchure. Not changing. Don't change the embouchure, don't change the lip setting, don't open. The work that you can make with your chops, keeping the same position, is precious, and you will appreciate it when you play, for example, in the high range, and playing the stamp, you can learn to keep this area very soft, and no tensions, and to use the corners. Corners are very important to play the trumpet. Most part of the control about the muscles pass through the corners. We are not speaking about brutal force. We never have to use brutal force to play the trumpet. Even if we are playing into the stratosphere, or we are playing anyway in the high range or super high range, nothing is brutal. Must be very elastic and fluid, and the fluidity of our playing is a very nice approach, and you must have it always in your mind. You have to avoid to play with force, just muscles and brutal force. So this is something, very quick about mentioning the pedal tones. And another important thing is to play and to warm up, or maybe also practice after the warm up only with the mouthpiece. For me is very important. When I discovered that I could practice also with the mouthpiece, and sometimes just only with the mouthpiece, this changed my approach to the trumpet and my idea of playing. I know some very important names of the trumpets in the world that sometimes they don't touch the trumpet. They just practice for 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours only with the mouthpiece. I know it can sound strange. It is not something that I do every day, but sometimes I can spend some hours just practicing only with these and playing everything from the warm-up and to playing also the repertoire that I'm going to perform in my concerts. And usually the things that I perform more are something connected to screaming trumpets or super high range. And believe me if I say that if everything comes out from here the mouthpiece, then everything is really more and more, how can I say, it's easier. It will be easier and easier to play with the trumpet. Obviously, we are not all the same, no? We are all different. So sometimes that I play or I practice in a way that other of my colleagues, huge names, they have different approaches for practicing the trumpet or playing the trumpet. So there is not just one truth, one truth. There is not one truth. It's there are many concepts. Sometimes everything leads to the same point, but it's like looking at the same thing from different corners. And the important thing is the result. So it doesn't matter if I tell something, another professor tells a different thing. You can try and then you keep for yourself just what you think it's useful for you. This is very important because during your life, especially for the students, you will listen to several professors, several trumpet artists, and maybe sometimes you receive some advices that are opposite. You try, you try to do what the professors or the artists tell you, and then you decide if it's you can keep it or not. No problem. The music and the trumpet are two words where two worlds where there are so many things to discover, and the important thing is to have to be open-minded, not close on our ideas, and the life is long, and the life of a trumpet player is very long. Sometimes we get results from the trumpet after years, not immediately. There are some players who obtain results immediately, and some other players need more time to reach to the important results. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I know a lot of players who were not considered talents when they were young, and now they are incredible professional trumpet players in some of the best orchestras, classical orchestras, or incredible soloists. And when they were young, they were not considered really talented trumpet players. And I know a lot of talented trumpet players who stopped to play the trumpet, unluckily, because they lost themselves. So it's important to understand what is useful for us. You can listen to every professor, and then you keep what is important for you. So playing with the mouthpiece for me is a very important thing. For other players or the professors, this is something sometimes to avoid. So really different point of views. For me, it's important. Anything that I can play here, it's easier than with the trumpet. So if I can play something here, then when I play the trumpet, everything becomes easier for me. I speaking also sometimes, I play some Maynard Ferguson tributes, and I have to play 13, 14 pieces in a row, and it's a massive concert, and it's the endurance must be good, otherwise you cannot arrive safe at the end of the concert. And believe me if I tell you that if I can play all the repertoire only with the mouthpiece, then with the trumpet, it's just a walk. Obviously I don't practice only with this, I told you, but sometimes I use it because it's very important. Also, centering the sounds. For me, the concept of centering the sounds is very important, because I think that the air, if we speak about air and the air support, that is obviously one of the most important things for trumpet players, we cannot avoid to think about centering the sound, because just air is not enough. When you breathe and you inhalate the air, then you have to understand what to do with this air. And centering the air and centering the vibration makes everything going into the same direction. And this makes things easier for us, a lot easier. So you can also check your sound, your attacks only with the mouthpiece. If you play an attack like this is not good, but you can work on it and find the center of the center of the center of the note. Speaking about the center of the note, I think one of the best exercises we can do is the bending, because it's like when you play with the strings of the guitar or violin, and you do down 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 down, and you find exactly the center of the intonation. Is kind of the same for us. So if when we play the bending, we can really go into the center of the vibration of the airstream of the sound, and you can play better. Everything then sounds better. For example, you can expand, and not only playing down, playing the bending down, but also the superior bending. It's very difficult, but you can focus the control on the instrument. Just listen to the sound when I start and the sound when I finish. It's better. So this is something, if you work in this way every day, not for hours, maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, but every day you can learn a lot about how to, how can I say, manage your chops and your approach to the trumpet. Another important concept is to how to blow the air. If you go on internet and YouTube, you find so many videos on teachers or musicians, trumpet players, or maybe players of bigger instruments like trombone or tuba, and teaching on how to breathe. And it's very important, really very important to work on breathing. It's so important, because we are brass instruments, wind instruments. I mean that we need some air to play. But I can say, if we take a lot of air, then we have to understand how to use it, how to manage this air. So the way of blowing is very important, because sometimes we don't have to make confusion with the bigger instruments. The trumpet requires a very focused, very compact air, not large. It can work for us, the large air, just until some notes. Then if we have to speak about the higher range, if we blow too large, everything becomes very difficult. So if we really want to have a control on the trumpet, we have to learn how to manage the airstream. Can be larger in the low range or the middle range, but when we speak about playing the higher range, the air gets a very different shape. It's not large, it's compressed, it's compact, and for me, the idea of compact to compact the air is very important when I have to play and have control on the super high range. So and you you know you will see a video that I gave to the Rafael Méndez International Brass Festival 2021, where there is a collection of some important solos that I played for Italian TV. Sorry, and it's all live music. So we are not speaking about something pre-recorded. It's all live. And so no tricks, just the camera on air, live, and playing. And believe me if I tell you that to have the control of the trumpet, the shape of the air is very important, especially when we have to get the result of the high range immediately, reactive. So this is something that you can work with your with your friends, with your teachers. You can speak about this and trying to work a little bit. Is the idea and the concept to develop this kind of control on the trumpet. The other thing, another important thing, is the flexibility. Sometimes flexibility is strictly connected, in my opinion and my approach, is strictly connected to the bending. Obviously, the position of the tongue has a very important role in this, in playing the flexibility. The position of the tongue is precise when we have to create different shapes of airstream. And when we speak about the flexibility, we never have to think the flexibility with a large airstream. It doesn't work. Sometimes we feel like there is a wall between an harmonic and the other harmonic. This means that probably there is too much space, or lips are too open, or teeth are too open, or the airstream is too large. And if we really want to avoid to feel these walls between the notes, we have to compact everything. Obviously, if we start to blow large, it doesn't work. This is the result. Too large. We compact. And everything is perfectly under control. This is a long way. Don't forget that we reach to the results with some sacrifice, practicing every day, hard. The trumpet is an instrument that, he wants us every moment of the day. So if you want to play trumpet, you must know that you have to practice trumpet for many hours every day. And when you will be an important artist and you will tour, you will give concerts all around the world, then you will discover that you don't have so much time to practice as it was before when you were a student. So you have to find any way to practice. Sometimes you practice with a silent mute. in the hotel, or I don't know. Sometimes I practice also when I am at the airport or at the train station, and I sit somewhere. I put my silent mute, and I practice. And I saw many colleagues doing the same during these years. And it's funny when you practice, and then sometimes there's like dun dun dun. You turn and you see that there's a colleague smiling, says, "Oh, we can practice together," and into the airport, for example. And it's also, the trumpet community is wonderful. It's something that is connected to the whole planet. So you will find trumpet players in any country, everywhere in the world. So think always that we are a big community, and we don't have to fight or to think, oh, I play better than this one. No, no, no. We have to play this wonderful instrument, to play music, good music, and to be happy. There will be always someone better than us. There will be always a trumpet that can do something that we cannot do, that can play something that we cannot play. And we have just to give him our admiration, and to make a friendship, because sometimes also when you listen to some great players, you can learn. You can ask them what they practice, how they get that certain result, and you can learn and keep something that can be useful for you. So we have been speaking, shortly, because we don't have so much time, about some important points of the trumpet. There are so many. Every clinic or every master class should be of, I don't know, maybe of 24 hours. Every clinic should be 24 hours long, to really front and speak and trying to fix the problems in everything that we can play with the trumpet. So remember always to sing into the trumpet, because we are strictly connected to singing. I was born in Torre del Lago Puccini. Torre del Lago Puccini is the village where the great maestro Giacomo Puccini lived his whole life, and he wrote his incredible opera arias, and his villa, his house is on the lake, and he has been buried there, so he's still here. And it's a great inspiration if we speak about singing into the instrument. So never forget, if we sing into the instrument, we will have for sure a better sound. And then many mechanisms, many things that we have to do playing the trumpet will be more fluent. So for example, if we speak also about the sound, not singing, singing, oh, oh, everything gets to a different dimension. The sound, the interpretation, everything will be more musical and also easier. So the trumpet is something that goes between some mechanical things that we have to learn, about how to use our corners, how to be without tension here, very soft here, and how to use your body, so physical, and the physical approach to the trumpet. But this is not only physical, so then we have to deal also with other things. And the trumpet is beautiful because we create every single note that we play. So it's incredible. It's an incredible instrument. Everything we play it's really our music, our notes. We create everything. So you can also understand that is a difficult, very difficult instrument. And so, what I can say, I think we are on 30 minutes of clinic. I think it's a long clinic. I hope you enjoy this clinic. If you have any question, you can write me, or you can contact me through my social medias, maybe YouTube, maybe email. My email is tofanelliandrea @gmail.com, and you can ask me whatever you want, about trumpet playing, exercises, studios. I have so many people asking me advices or lessons, or anyway, we are here to play and to teach. Teaching is a very important part for every trumpet artist or trumpet performer, because we have a legacy. We have a legacy. I got things from the older trumpet players, and there will be new trumpet players, younger trumpet players, and I will give them the legacy of the trumpet that I learned from the big, huge, important trumpet players of the past. It's a legacy. It's a story that goes on through the centuries. So, enjoy. I hope you enjoyed this clinic. I hope you are going to enjoy the Rafael Méndez International Brass Festival 2021, and from Italy, from Tuscany, and I hope that next time in Mexico we will be live in person, so to speak in person, to play live on a stage. This is from here, Andrea Tofanelli from Italy, from Tuscany, and love good music, and remember to make waves with the music, with the trumpet and with the music. Bye bye from Andrea Tofanelli. Bye bye.